2, friends. Welcome to the day 2 of the course SRE and Cloud Performance Engineering in DevOps. Friends, in the day 1, last session on Friday, we discussed on the course outline, the flow, how we're going to go about this course, the sequence of topics that we'll take up, what all we cover, the thought process of the course, which all skills we address to upskill, right? We have discussed in detail about the course. We'll come back on that part. And then we also talked about cloud, right? What is cloud, the difference between on-premise and the cloud, why people use cloud, right? And then how do we use cloud? To use cloud, we need this AWS account, friends. So I suggested you to go to aws.amazon.com to this website, aws.amazon.com, and suggest everybody to create the account. Do we all have the account here in this group? Whoever had joined today, looking forward to enroll. Do we have all the account created, friends? Okay, I see one thumbs up from Manoj.
Not yet, we'll create it today.
Okay, please create it today. Right, so all we have to do is go to this link, aws.amazon.com, and create our account. Right, we can use our Gmail address, and we need to provide details. Manoj, it's the first time you create the account, or you already had it before?
Well, I already had it before, but then my free tier has expired, so I've created another one.
Okay. So could you quickly just walk through the process, what you have observed this time? Any change in the process for others' reference?
No, not really. I mean, it was pretty much straightforward. You just need an account that was not used previously, and it does ask for you to enter the card details, but it doesn't charge because it's a free tier. And unless the free tier has expired, then the charges does apply based on the services we use.
Right. So very simple process. Hardly would have taken like 5 minutes for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
5-10 maximum, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody, please create this account, right? I have the account already, so I'm gonna sign in. And this is how you sign in. You go to the sign to the console, and you get this, right? So, and we see two things here. We see sign in as the IAM user and sign in as the root user. You get two things. So the email address that you use to create the account is basically the root email address, root. Root has the ultimate privilege, everything, right? That's the user, that's the email address we have used to create the account. So that has the ultimate privilege. Then we can add other people also in the company. Obviously, right? We need to add people in the company. It's not only the root user who would be having access. Yes, root user would have the everything, all the access, possible ultimate access, super user access. But then you need people to work, right? You need DevOps engineer, SRE professionals, developers, QA engineers, right? You need people to work and you need them to have access. So we will create users for them also. And that is what we call IAM, identity and access management. Right now, I don't have any IAM user. So when you join a company, right? And let's say when they give you access to cloud account, you are one of the IAM users. IAM stands for IAM is a service in AWS. Everything is through service, right? Everything is service. If we want to do anything in the cloud, it's service. We have a service, right? It has to be done through service. So if I need the server in the cloud, we have a service. If you need storage, we have a service. If you want to create users, various users, give them permissions, We have a service, and that service name is IAM. And that's what you see here. First thing that you see here. So I'm not going to log in as the IAM user. I'll show you how do we get IAM user first. So I'm using the root user email, right? I'll do this. And then I give the same account detail that I have used, my email address, and then I give the password. Password we have set while creating the account. Now, what I have done additionally, more than the password, I have enabled multi-factor authentication, MFA, right? We can enable an MFA for our even gmail.com, right? For any website, we can create MFA. So they have made it mandatory to have the MFA enabled for the root user and the IAM users. So I have created it. I'll walk you through how we have created MFA. I am looking on a mobile application, friends. It is called Google Authenticator. You can also download this. You have a lot of such authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator. You have Symantec. You have Duo Mobile. You have a lot of such things. I have used Google Authenticator. You can also download this. I'll show you one day in upcoming days. How do you create MFA? So I'm looking at I've opened Google Authenticator in my mobile and I am typing a code which gets changed, refreshed every 30 seconds. So the latest code whichever displays in my mobile, I have typed it and I could log in. It's MFA. So if somebody has to hack the cloud account, they need to just not have my password. They have to also get my phone. So just a double layer of security that we are making sure that we have it, right? And this is what you see here is the management console, we call it management console. And we do, it's a UI approach of doing things, right? We could see here what we are doing. If we need a server, we go with a service called EC2. EC2 is the service. Where do we get the service? Here, just click on here, search EC2, right? EC2. And EC2, by the way, stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. Elastic Compute Cloud. And this is the service which we use to create server, virtual machine. We specify how much core, how much RAM, what is operating system I need, and all those details. And we create the server, and then we log into the server. Today we will see about the Linux server because I'm going to mostly today is going to be the last session with everybody. We're going to have a group created, WhatsApp group, and I'll be sharing the Linux playlist session with all of you. And today we will learn how do we create the Linux server, how do we SSH to the Linux server, how do we connect to the Linux server so that you can practice, friends, right? So you get time to practice. So we'll use this service today to create a Linux server. The most easiest approach we'll take up today, right? And similarly, we have a service. If you want to store something information, so why we use cloud? Because we want the server. And we have a lot of things, load balancing, auto scaling group, auto scale. How do we auto scale when the load increases? How do we set up this? What are the criteria you set up this? Because the load in the production is not uniform, right? And in the cloud, we pay as we use. It's not like on-premise. In on-premise, do we have any advantage of auto scaling in on-premise? Let's say, I'll give you a very simple question. I want you to think. Let's say in production, you have a load pattern. It's a couple of hours of load pattern, 4 or 5 hours of peak time. And you want to auto scale, you want to have more servers during the peak time, less servers in less when there's not a peak time. Do you have benefit of auto scaling in on-premise, friends? Do you think so? I will simplify this for you. Let's think. I think you need to understand the definition, friends. The answer lies in the definition. In on-premise, we purchase everything, right? We purchase everything. When you have purchased everything, whether you use it or you don't use it, you have already purchased it, right? What is the benefit you are going to get with auto scaling? Whether you have 100 servers, whether you use 5 server or 10 server, does it matter for you? In cloud, we pay as we use. If we use more, we have to pay more. So auto scaling sense much more. Auto scaling makes sense for in the cloud environment than the on-premise. Do we understand this? Yes, no?
Yes.
Making sense?
Yes.
So that's what, when I say the definition on-premise, you have to understand the definition. And that is when the thought process starts. Right? So you need to understand what is the difference. In the cloud, we pay as we use. And that is this thought process what we are going to talk about in this entire course, friends. In on-premise, we have purchased. Now, whether we auto scale or we don't auto scale doesn't really matter. So nobody has talked about auto scaling in on-premise setup. But in the cloud, no. If we use 10 cores, we have to pay for 10. If I'm using 100 cores, we have to pay for 100 cores. So we have a lot of things. EC2 is a service which we use to create server, right? Linux, Windows. We have a lot of options of operating system. We can get as many cores we want, and that too remotely. I don't need to be at any part of the globe. I could be in the village. I could be in any remote village of Africa, India, right? I just need internet connectivity and a laptop. That's it. And that's the power of cloud. Cloud will enable you to create server in any part of the globe. I could create the server in Europe, in US, in Australia. That's what cloud offers, because this is the console you just logged in. So to log into this console, all you require is the cloud account, laptop, internet access. That's it. Now you can go ahead and select any region. If you need, I can select Frankfurt, London, Paris, and I can create servers any part of the globe. That's what the cloud enables us to do. It's not possible in on-premise. In on-premise, it's a fixed data center. One company would have how many data centers? 1, 2. That's it. I have a lot of options here in the cloud environment. Wherever I can, if I need to have a server in Australia, I can get it. We have Sydney also. So EC2, if I need to store something, I have a lot of content to store, like Netflix. We have a service for that, storage, S3 we call it. Simple storage service. We talked about IAM. If I want to manage the users, give them permissions. I don't want to give everybody the root permission, right? I don't want to share the credentials, what I have. I have got root credentials. I have my account created. Shall I share now those credentials with everybody in the team, everybody in the company? No, right? I should give them separate credentials and policies, permissions. If I'm recruiting admin, I can give more access. But if I'm recruiting a developer, I don't need to give them deployment access. So so everything is a use case, friends. IAM stands for identity and access management. So similarly, we have got a lot of such use cases, and that's what we talk about. To give you a view, friends, in 2007, AWS was launched when Jeff Bezos was setting up data center for Amazon.com. This idea came and he thought, why can't whatever he was doing, setting up infrastructure for on-premise, for Amazon.com, why can't the same be leveraged to others? Why can't the hardware, software be leveraged to others? And that's where this Amazon Web Services was founded. And when he introduced when he introduced AWS, he started with only 3 services. Only 3 services back then. In 2007 around, friends, when AWS was launched, they had only 3 services. Any cases? What are those 3 services? In 2025, we have 240 plus services as we speak. And it's growing. We have got AI, ML, lot of services, quantum technologies, game development. We have got a lot of new services now in this years. But in 2007, when AWS was launched, they launched with only 3 services. What were those 3 services? One was EC2, other was S3, and the last service was SQS. Simple queue service. If you want to queue your requests, your messages, and you don't want to lose those messages, you want to make your call asynchronous. Do we understand synchronous call, asynchronous call? Just from a technical perspective, I'm asking. Nothing to do with the cloud. I'm asking a generic question. Do we understand what is a synchronous call, asynchronous call? What is the benefit of a synchronous call? Okay, Manoj understands that. Others? Okay. Krishna K understands that. Good. We'll discuss about that, friends, in detail. A lot of benefits of a synchronous call. SQS is one of them. Queue. We can queue our messages, our requests, so that the producer and the consumer can work independently. The producer, the publisher can publish work independently. Consumer can consume it independently. Right? So SQS, simple queue service. We'll discuss about that. What is asynchronous call? It's a part of a normal architecture. Kafka, you might have heard of it. So for simple operation, we can use SQS. Complex operation, we use Kafka. Have everybody heard of this term, Kafka? See, what performance engineers should be good at, friends, or SRE engineers should be good at, or you want to become a DevOps engineer, anybody. What is the common in all the skills, understanding of the architecture? Do you all agree?
Yes.
And the architectural components. That has to be the common. Either you want to be a cloud performance engineer or a performance engineer. Cloud, if you know cloud, things are in cloud. Want to be into DevOps role, into SRE role. Your architecture. What are different components involved in your architecture? If you have a 3-tier application, web server, app server, database server, you should understand how they communicate with each other, how you deploy the applications. Is it VM installation, container installation? Do you have asynchronous calls like SQS or Kafka? Have you used these things? If you talk about Kafka, we talk about who are the publishers, consumers, consumer groups, partitions, like a lot of things, right, we need to understand. So SQS is on the line of making call asynchronous, and which has much more performance benefits. You can scale higher. Okay, so these three services AWS was launched in 2007. And today, friends, we have 240 plus services and still growing. And they're making it so simple. If today I need a server, I can create a server in less than a minute, less than a minute. If you want, that's the power of cloud. If you want, Rasan, I want to install a web application. How long will it take to install a web application? Less than a minute. I can show you my own web application launched in the browser in less than a minute. That's the power of cloud, because we can create a server. I can go to EC2, create a server, install 4 or 5 commands. That's it. I have to use 4 or 5 commands, and that's it. In less than a minute, my web server would be up and running. That's the power of cloud, because they have automated the entire process. As a user, I'm just using EC2 and creating the server, but they have done the automation. I can select. I'll give you one example, right? Today I need a server. Let's say in Mumbai, we have a lot of regions, 39 regions we have. Let me just tell you again on the geographical. AWS infrastructure, if we talk about, we have 120 data centers spread across 38 regions. 38 regions. Region is not a country. In one country, there could be multiple regions, right? In India, we have 2 regions, one in Hyderabad, one in Mumbai, each having 3 AZs. Similarly, you can see this. We have got a lot of regions, right? And we have in US, if you look at this in North America, we have so many regions available. 9 regions we have in North America. And the other places where we have this regions, look at the locations here. 9 regions. In South America, we have only 2 regions. In Europe, we have 9 regions. Middle East, 4. Africa, 1. Asia Pacific, 13. India would be one of them here. It's in Asia Pacific. So you can see this Hyderabad and Mumbai, you see it here. And you have Beijing, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Malaysia, mainland China, Osaka. So we have these 13, Singapore, Thailand, Tokyo. I could create the server anywhere, wherever I want. That's what the cloud offers. Anywhere. Think about it. Just look at this. Just think about it. Just try to understand what does it mean. Anywhere in the globe, wherever they have the data center, 120 AZs they have across 38 regions. We can create the server storage any part of the globe. And they are developing, they're growing. I am seeing this from when they were 30 AZs. 30. I'm seeing it from them from that time. Today, if I need a server, I just need a minute, friends. Let's say I decided to create a server in Mumbai region. I go to EC2. Two, 3 steps. I go to EC2. I go to instances. I have a server running. I think I have forgotten to delete this. Let me terminate this. I think I just missed to terminate this. Okay, anyway. Today, friends, if I need a server, I go to EC2 service. Again, I'll repeat that EC2 service. And you can see the dashboards. Every dashboard gives us the overview view, how many instances are running, and other details. I need a server. I go to instances. For a server to be created, what are the mandatory fields? Let's say you go to Dell.com, Lenovo.com, and let's say you have been asked to configure your laptop. What all details that must fill details that you would be asked? Tell me, friends.
Operating system.
Okay.
RAM.
RAM. Okay. Yeah. What else? Core. How much core you need?
CPU.
Yeah, CPU. Cores. Disk. Storage. Four mandatory things. Without this, even we cannot even imagine a laptop. Correct? Minimum graphic card and all that. Leave this, all those things. Minimum these four things. Do I need Windows, Mac, Linux, RAM, core, storage? I need these four details. Definitely, I need to have it. Same thing, friends. In the cloud today, if I need a server, I go to EC2. I go to EC2, go to instances, and I launch my instance. I launch my instance. That's all I did. I launch instance. And AWS is asking me the same question. First of all, they're asking, you can check the summary. Whatever you fill on this side, you have few details to fill here. You have few details to fill here. Whatever you select, it will be go in the summary. They have some standard details already given. They have already given some standard details about the operating system, about the RAM and the core, security group, storage. They have given some standard things. All we have to do is check or customize and launch server. That's it. And they have automated the process. They would spin up a server based on your requirement, based on your specifications. If you need Windows operating system, you will get it. If you need Mac, you will get it. If you need Linux, if you want in Linux also, you have got multiple options. You have Amazon Linux, Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE Linux, whatever you need. You have plethora of options. So in AWS world, OS operating system we call AMI. What do we call? AMI, Amazon Machine Image. AMI we call it, friends. AMI. Amazon Machine Image. AMI. Core and the RAM we put together. We call it instance type. We put together core and the RAM. And we call it instance type. You have got a lot of instance type families available. Depending on whether your application is compute optimized, memory optimized, do you need more CPU, more memory, storage optimized? Depending on your requirement, you can select a instance type. And when you select instance type, it means the RAM and the core. Then you have the storage. And again, it's the SSD. drive, SSD we use, storage. So we have to fill these options. Look at these options now. We have these options of AMI here. If I expand this, I have options. Amazon Linux you need, Mac you need, Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat, SUSE Linux, Debian, and you have got more options also. If I can browse more AMI, you'll get more options. I have options to select. Let's say I select Ubuntu. This will change. If I select Ubuntu, this will change. I will not change Ubuntu. I'll let it be Amazon Linux. Instance type is where the core and the RAM comes in. By default, as part of free tier eligible, by default, they have selected T3.micro. There's a T3 family. Family is T3 type. We have a lot of families. Compute optimized family, memory optimized. If you need more CPU, more memory, you have those kind of families. And each family this T3.micro belongs to T3 family, and it has 2 vCPUs and 1 GB RAM. It's part of free tier eligible. I have options to select. I can go ahead and select T2 family. I can select a lot of options we have. We have C6 family compute optimized. I can go with 1972 core also I can select. C5N family. C are this compute optimized family. Then we have got D3 family. We have a lot of options to select. Only T3 is what is applicable for the free tier, T3 and T2. So we need to be careful, friends. If you don't want to incur cost, we should select the free tier eligible. Here also, Mac is not part of free tier. Okay. Whatever was default selected is Amazon Linux is the part of free tier. Mac is not a free tier because they don't get Mac OS as part of free, right? They have to pay Apple. So we have the OS, we have the instance type, which is the core and the RAM. I have selected the default ones. I have not changed these two things, friends. I have not changed these two things. Now we have storage. Look at this. We have the storage also. By default, 8 GB they have given us. GP3, they have GP2, GP3, and other in volume types. We have other. So all are SSD. Good. I will keep it default 8 GB. But if it's Windows, you need more than 8 GB because Windows software is heavy. It's Linux, so 8 GB in the disk I get. You go ahead. So by default, all these things are selected, friends. Now let's talk about the mandatory field that you need to select. Now we have something called key pair. Friends, see, what is the point? Why are we creating server? We are creating server so that we can log in, right? And we can do something, we can do some installation. That is what we are creating server for. I'm creating a server in the cloud. Why am I creating a server in the cloud? What is the main goal? Main goal that I'm creating a server in the cloud so that I can log in from my laptop, which is outside the cloud network. I'm here. Right, I'm here. Let's say I'm creating this server, trying to create this server, right now not created, trying to create this so that I can log in and do something, right? I can install some applications, do something on this. Use this server as a Jmeter machine, load generator, or web server. Depending on my requirement, I need the server to be created. Now we need to log in. We need to connect to this guy. So when you connect to this guy, don't you think you require a password, friends, to connect? Yes or no? Can anybody connect to your server?
No.
Would you like that? No.
No.
So that is why to connect securely, like a password, we have a key pair. So we generate a key, basically. We generate a key. And we have the same, using the same key, we can authenticate ourselves. That's why we create the key pair. We create the pair. One key I'll have in my local laptop. One key I'll have, the same key I will have in the server. And when they try to do connection, and this is the Linux server, let's say. So this connection will happen on which port? Which port this connection will happen, friends?
Linux
Fundamental. Go ahead. Which port?
Windows is 8080 Linux. I'm not sure.
No, not correct. Anybody? I would like to connect. This is a Linux server and I need to connect to this Linux server. So which port I'll connect? Which protocol I will connect to? Which protocol, first of all? SSH protocol? Yes. Is the Linux server, so SSH protocol. And SSH happens on which port? Google it, friends. I would like you to Google it because that's a very simple question.
22.
It's a definition, okay? No argument. There is an institute called IANA. They have defined all these things long back. Internet Assigned Number Authority. They have defined these things. SSH will happen on port 22. If it's a Windows server, I will have to do RDP protocol, and that happens at 3389. So they are definitions. Okay. So port 22, no argument. Why don't say, Roshan, why port 22? Okay, I am not the one to decide. We are not the ones to decide. They have decided it. IANA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. Port 22. So first of all, we need the key for the login, right? So I'll create the key first of all. So apart from the 4 things, friends, we need a key pair. And that's the only and only mandatory field. Today, if you need the server, go to EC2 and do this exact steps. You don't touch on anything. Don't change AMI instance types, storage. Let it be default. Just create the key pair, friend. Just create the key pair and you can launch your server. You can launch your server. Simple. Only one mandatory field. What is that mandatory field? By default, others are not selected. Only one mandatory field. What is that? What is that mandatory field? Key pair. Create the new key pair. Just click on create new pair. Give any name the way you want it. Any name. Okay. Cloud. September 2025. Whatever. Any name. Whatever you give. Just give a name. ABC. XYG, any name, whatever you feel like, give it. Don't change this RSA encryption type and PEM format. Just keep it default. Just give the name and create key pair. Your PEM file will get downloaded to your local laptop, which you have to use to SSH. Okay. And the same PEM file will go to the server. So I'm getting a key pair, key, right? Whatever I'm using, the cloud September 2025, whatever I'm giving this key .pem. So this key, I'm creating it here. And when I create this, it will get downloaded to my local laptop and it will also get embedded here on the server. So that when you log in, use this PEM file to authenticate yourself. Those who have the PEM file can connect to the server. So don't share this PEM file. It's like a password, friends. Encrypted password. So don't share this with anybody. So the moment I'm going to create the key pair, it will get downloaded in my laptop. I have clicked on it. It got downloaded to my laptop in downloads folder, and the same key has been going to the server. Friends, apart from that, there is no mandatory field. Only one mandatory field. I can just do one thing. I can just launch my instance happily. Now tell me how long it took for me, for anybody it will take to create the server in seconds. How many seconds? 5, 10. That's it. That's the power of cloud. In on-premise, friends, you have to purchase the server. You have to first construct the building, purchase the land, construct the building, purchase the server, do virtualization, and then you can get a server. In the cloud, I just logged in my cloud account. 10 seconds, my server is ready. Cloud is here to automate stuff. Look at this. My laptop, they have my server, they have configured whatever the AMI instance type, core, RAM, disk, whatever I have selected, they have customized, and my server is up and running. My server is up and running. Up and running. It's in running status. All I had to do is just connect to it. I can use a command prompt, Windows command prompt to connect to the server. I have my PEM file. I need the PEM file, right? PEM file is in the downloads folder. I have this PEM file in the downloads folder, friends. I will open the command prompt in this location. CMD, I'll do this. It will open the command prompt. This is the location downloads. I have the command prompt with me. All I will do is to only one command. SSH -I, my PEM file, cloud, September. I can give tab also, it will work. I have other name also. Let me not give tab. September. Give tab, yes. Default user. Every server has a default user. So I am creating Amazon Linux. Same. So default user is EC2 user. EC2-user at the rate of public IP. So this server has got the public IP and the private IP. Friends, we all are connected to the internet, right? We all have public IP. You have taken the internet from an internet service provider, right? They have given you this public IP. If you want to know your public IP, go to this website. What's my IP address.com? What is my IP address.com? This is your public IP. This is my public IP. Similarly, you can find yours. Every laptop which is connected to the internet, every laptop which is connected to the internet has a public IP. Friends, has a public IP. Every laptop. And if your laptop has a network card, right? Then you have a private IP also. Your laptop also has a network card. Our laptop, we all have it. We all have. So if you want to know your private IP, go to command prompt, open a command prompt again, and type ipconfig. Open the command prompt, type ipconfig. If you are in Mac laptop, type dig command. This is my private IP. So every laptop which is connected to the internet will have a public IP. And even if you're not connected to the internet, you will always have a private IP. Because private IP is the property of your network card. Do we all know that our laptop has this card, network card? Do we all know this? It's embedded on the motherboard, friends. So this server is no different. This server is no different. This server is also has a public IP and a private IP. To connect to this server, I have to use public IP. So all I have done, friends, is with one simple command, ssh-i, the PEM file, EC2 user hyphen at the rate of public IP. That's it. Only one command. I'll hit enter. Are you sure you want to connect? Continue connecting? Yes. Friends, I got connected to my Linux server. Do you understand? Do you see? Look at this. I'm Linux server, my Linux server. I'm in my Linux server. Logged in as an EC2 user. I can become the root user also. I can become the root user. And I can install whatever I need, databases, web server, app server, I can do. So admire the power of cloud, friends, what it does. It takes less than a minute for me to create the server and install any application. I can just issue one command. That's when you need the Linux understanding knowledge. If I tell you to install a web server, you should know which operating system it is, which package manager is installed. Yum is the package manager in the Amazon Linux belongs to the CentOS family. Yum is the package manager. So you have to install yum update-y and yum install HTTPD to install the web server. You should do this basic stuff. If it's Ubuntu apt command, Debian family. So you should know the basics of Linux, and that's why I'm going to share those recorded session with you, the Linux part. Everything is up and ready, right? So I'm not going to go on the installation part. All I'm trying to tell you is admire the power of cloud. Look at this. I could be in the remotest part of the country. I just need a laptop and internet connectivity, which we have, right? In India, particularly, we everywhere you go, we have this. And I can create server storage. I can configure a web application, full-fledged solution in any part of the globe, in Australia, in US, Europe, wherever you need. That's the cloud offers. That is the power of cloud. That's why with the definition of cloud, what do we define? The use of software and hardware over the internet. It's called cloud computing. The use of software and hardware over the internet is called cloud computing. Look at this. Was that so easy in on-premise thing? Look at this automation. In on-premise, you have to install the OS. You are the one who has to install the OS. Did we do that? No, I just selected the options, clicked on launch. Cloud has automated this, done everything done and ready for me. That's the cloud offers. And so I'm going to share the Linux session with all of you, friends. We're going to share that soon. And go over this PPT. Once you get that access, friends, we're going to create the WhatsApp group separately, and you would be given access to this drive where we have PPTs. Go over this Linux PPT and start practicing. You have this playlist with you. We will share this playlist with you. My recorded session, I have only taken up tip. So in the first part, you would see me creating server only EC2 instance, mostly Ubuntu here. And then I'll go about this. To till shell scripting, you would have the understanding. Some 3.5 hours. Perfect. Just spend some time. Get comfortable with Linux, friends. Right? And go over these commands. Get comfortable. If you have not got the exposure, time, or correct guidance. This is the time for you to get comfortable with Linux. And it's a must-have skill to become a cloud performance engineer, cloud engineer, anything. Linux is very important. DevOps engineer must, SRE professionals must. So very important skill. At least comfortable. If I ask you to install some server and do something on this server, you should be comfortable. How to do, what all to do. If I ask you to check some CPU usage, memory usage, so you should know what is the command to use. Right? If I ask you disk usage, you should be comfortable with these things like basic commands. It's all about, friends, it's all about do you know how do you work on Linux? It's all about the command app. It's not a graphical user interface, right? It's a command. You have to know commands to get things done, to see things. Okay, friends. So that's all, friends, for today. We have got 3 minutes left. Please, any questions which I could take it up? Go ahead.
Hi, Roshan, Manoj here.
Yes.
Quick couple of questions. One is relates to the key pair. Yes, we have got that PEM file. And you said, we won't be able to share it to a user to another user, or particularly a PC to another PC. Is it because that binds with the PC MAC address, or
no,
how does it work?
No, it's embedded in the laptop, in the server. That server that we have created, this is embedded. If you go to the location, if you go to this location in the authorized key section, it's embedded. This key embedded. They use this key to connect. If you try with any other key, it will not work. So they have embedded in the server, and you have the key with you in your local, and that's why we have used this, right? That is what we have to use to connect. So this is what you're able to authenticate. If it doesn't match, because if you look at the PEM file, it is in the encrypted format. It has to match. It has to match, right? If you open this, it's an encrypted format. So this has to match. If this content is different, even if the name is same, if they match this content, by the way, if this content is different, you would not be able to log in. So don't save this file. I meant that.
Okay. Yeah. And then the other one is regarding storage. While we are creating the EC2 one, we picked the storage, and then there's a different types, right? Like GP3, maybe a GP2 and stuff.
Yeah.
Will we be discussing more of
Obviously,
that when we go into the storage service?
Absolutely. Today we have discussed 1% of EC2. So just I wanted you to get everybody to get see. You may know some cloud. You may be comfortable, but for me, I am taking it. I'm not expecting you to know that. So today is the day one, and I don't want to go over everything. Today's 1% is what we have covered. Just know that. High level. We will go on every detail, why we select a volume type, GP2, GP3, what are the performance implications, what is the IOPS, throughput per second it supports, what are the criteria if you are having an IOPS issue, what is the what different you would do that. Same thing for volume for the instance type. I have just touched base, I just told you the family, but I'm going to walk you through different families, why we select one, how depending on your application. So every detail, we have load balancer, we have the auto scaling group, elastic. So I just covered 1% of EC2. That's all.
Okay. Yep. Thanks.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much, everybody. I would not be able to take up more questions today. I would not be able to. I have a sharp hard stop at 9 o'clock. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, just one question, like you may answer in the next session. So this one we created from our laptop, so we will not share the .pam file, but are you going to explain, like in a when we will work in an organization, so we have to share the servers as well as when we are doing some agent and controller setup. So we have to somehow give that access, I think. So are you going to explain that? So how
Can you repeat
to,
that? Can you repeat? I got distracted. Okay, go ahead. Can you repeat that?
so like for now, if I'm configuring a server, so it will the .pam file will be in my laptop. But in a real environment, so we must be accessing the server, like multiple people will be accessing, or if it is an agent and controller configuration, so the
We
agent.
can set up username and password using the PEM file. We can set up username and password.
So are you going to explain that part as well?
Yeah,
Like how
username
to
and
do that?
password. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
We can set up username and password. And usually in any company, right, what they do, I'll tell you what they do. They ask your password, your laptop. They ask you to create the key and they add in the authorized section. That's what they do.
The .pem file as well?
No, not PEM file. They will ask you to create another key for your laptop and they add it in the authorized section. That's what they do. So that, so if I'm adding, let's say 20 people, if I have to give, so I will add 20 such things. So in your laptop, if you use SSH keygen, let's say if I type SSH keygen command, SSH keygen, I can create one more key like this. I just created one more key with me. This key I created. So all I can do, I can just add this key in the authorized section. And when I do that, I'll be able to access from this key as well. Okay. So you got the point? No?
Yeah, but I think I have to, yeah, just.
Okay, I will. See, authorized key is the place where authorized personnel are listed. Think about it. If I ask you, if I give you a code, okay, speak this, right? Speak this, or I think if I give you a code and I will authenticate my server, if anybody comes with that code, allow them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you a code for your laptop. Your laptop will have a code, your laptop specific, and I'm going to add that code to the authorized section. So that when you try with your laptop, you are authenticated automatically. You understand this point, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Your laptop will have the key. Right. Okay,
I think, I think it's good if we can pick this topic in the next one, because I do have
correct. So we will take this up later. Okay, so just don't worry about this. We will go in a sequence. Let's not get lost in these things. Good question. Okay, we have a sequence to follow. We will go over that sequence, right? And we'll go in detail. Yes, Robin, I'll be sharing you the Google Drive access. I'll be giving you. Yeah. We'll have a WhatsApp group created. I'm going to share the Google Drive access to you. You will have access to every file and things here. PPTs, every files, every content here. I'm going to add you here. Okay, I think my meeting is not there. No, go ahead, ask questions. Okay, I think it got postponed. Go ahead. Any other questions?
Well, just on that keep a PEM file. So you said, if we are going to share that organization wide and we try to add a unique key from each PC that individual is going to access, then who is going to create and manage this authorized underscore keys, and how do they do that?
The admin guys, those who give access.
Right. So being a cloud engineer, DevOps or SRE, will that fall as a part of our responsibility?
It depends. If you are a part of DevOps engineer or SRE team, which has a bigger team, you could have this role landed on you. Yes, you could ask some of your personnel. It's a big team role. It's not individual role. Okay, SRE DevOps is a big team role. It's a lot of responsibilities. So you can ask one of them to manage this. Yes. One of the team members to manage this. Yeah.
Now, the reason why I ask is if that's falling as part of one of the responsibility, then how do we able to do that job? Like, I mean, how do we create that
It's not,
authorized?
yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's not one person job. If you are managing a team, let's say, if I am a manager, SRE manager or a DevOps manager, I'm gonna give this work to somebody else, right? I'm not gonna do this. I will take up some of the most critical activity. This is a simple mundane stuff. Anybody can do this, right?
Okay.
Don't think you are
Roshan,
the
just a
only
quick.
person who has to manage this, who you have to do this hands-on. You should know how to get things done. Then you can ask your team member that if you get such a request, do these steps. Work them over. Okay, what should follow? You as a manager, as a principal engineer, you can make a process. If any such request come, this is what you should do. Ask them the PEM file, ask them the detail, the key, ask them to use this SSH keygen to generate the key and get the key from them and add this key to the authorized key section. That's it. 2-3 steps. Clear, Manoj?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yes, one, go ahead.
Yeah, Roshan, just a quick question on that. Like, see, ideally, creation, we can delegate it to another teammate or so. But if it comes to a point where like we'll have to take a call on the sizing, how do we take
Sizing of
that call?
can you be
Sizing of the
exactly
server,
sure?
like for example, now there were multiple options where we were trying to select the server sizes, right? Like the configuration of it, be it the cores, be it the RAM. I mean, like if the decision has to be taken from our end, and
Yes.
the development team is assigning this activity
They're
onto us
expecting us
to
to
take
know.
a call.
Yes, they do that.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. The infra setup, if at all they're expecting us to do, and like the sizing needs to be taken care from our end. Like what kind of measures are like what could be the a standard SOP to take a proper sizing account here? Because
Basically,
I get it. Like there would be a lot of parameters for it. I mean, like kind of
your question.
services or yeah.
I got your question. Let me take a call. Let me make you understand.
Uh-huh.
See, you should know one thing. You should know the core and the load ratio. This many core supports these many load. Let's say you in production you have 1000 TPS load. You will test. That's where the performance testing helps. That's where it helps. Performance testing. That you test with a small sample. Let's say you run a test with 100 TPS and you know, okay, 8 core is required. Now, first of all, you have to take a decision on what type of application is this. Is it a compute intensive application? Is it taking more cores? Is it taking more memory? We have, depending on that, you have a various instance families. Instance family we have a lot of instance type. Depending on the workload, depending on the application, you have general purpose. If you don't know, go with general purpose, T2, T3 family, T4 family. You have this general purpose. If it takes more CPU, compute optimized, memory optimized, you have various kinds of applications. First of all, you should know this where it belongs to so that you can make the right decision of the instance family. You don't want to make a mistake there. Let's say you decided, you got to know that, okay, this is taking more CPU or taking more memory. You went ahead with that. Now you should run a test, load test, and you should know the ratio. Okay, I run 100 TPS test. I require this much of core. So now to support 1000 TPS, what I should do? You should know that. That's how you make a call. How much core and the CPU memory would be required. I hope I answered your question. Yes, one.
Yeah, Roshan. I mean, see, we can take a call on that, but eventually, if there is changes, ideally we'll have to opt for a different option. I mean, like for a different configuration altogether, right?
I'm not able to understand. What does it mean?
Now, let us say we select option A. There is one sizing, size one. size one configuration. And like if that is not working, and if at all we observe that we are
that
finding any
obviously
kind
you
of
have to do
bottlenecks.
iterations, right? That obviously you have to do iterations. See,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
correct.
trying to tell you, that that's how the thought process should be. Let's say you require, see, there could be various scenarios in this. Okay, if I just give you a couple of scenarios, let's say, to make you understand. First of all, you need to understand the workload type. First thing, you need to make a decision here based on few tests, initial test, 1 or 2 tests. You can take a call whether your application is compute intensive or a memory intensive. Can you take a call? A couple of tests? Yes, one? Yes or no?
Yes,
Now,
we'll be able to
next
do that.
step would Next step would be you need to know the production load because they're expecting you the sizing. Without knowing the production load, can you give the sizing?
Not possible.
Not possible. If you have a low environment, stage environment where you can run the production load, you have the infrastructure, you have to make sure you have the right volume, prod infra, whatever it is, in whatever ratio you have, 25%, 50%. Based on that, you need to run some test. You have to go with the initial decision. Okay, looks like compute intensive. I'll go with C5 family, C4 family. Give us 4 core, 8 core, one VM. We'll start the test. Let's say you tested. Let's say production load is 1000 TPS. Okay, you start with 100 TPS test. And based on the usage, you have using one VM of, let's say, 8 core, 16 GB RAM, let's say. Based on the usage, 20%, 40%, whatever the usage is. Let's say you have run the test, and the usage is, let's say, 30%. So you know one thing for sure, that 8 core can support more load. Now, it could be 100%, it could be 80%, it could be 100%. Depending on that, you have to take a decision. No, I think I don't. Let's say you saw 80%, 100%. You will reduce the load 50 TPS, and you will see what is the max, what is the 8 core can support.
Optimal peak load it can
Optimal.
handle. Yeah.
So you need to do this. You have to go through this process. No other option.
Okay. The trial and error has to be done. Got it. Thanks, Roshan.
Sure. Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, a quick one on this. Just wanted to know which bucket this falls into, because I think listening to the discussion, I feel it's more around revolving around the performance engineering and performance testing side. Like, you play around with the sizings and try to find by mimicking the production loads and stuff. But will that be anyway flowing to the SRE too? Like, will the SRE
See,
be able
again,
to look into this?
it could be. It could be. See, as SRE is all of, what is SRE? Production reliability. Now, if you have a dedicated performance engineering team doing this, fine. But what if you do not have a dedicated team? You have been asked to do that. What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, we would definitely run this exercise, but this sort of exercise would anyway run in the lower environments, isn't it? Not in the product.
Obviously,
Yeah.
no test in production, no such test in production. I have never mentioned we should run in production. Never.
No, I just wanted to clarify.
Right,
When
definitely
that
not
runs
in
in,
production. Yes.
yeah, when that runs in lower environments, like I said, if there are no teams, would that still fall under SREs? Because again, that SRE things again does go with the priorities, right? Like, you got some P1s, P2s in prod again, it would deflect down to looking into that issues rather organizing the stuff of around sizing parts.
Right. See, Manoj, it could be SRE, could be depending on your roles and responsibilities. This role may or may not be there. Okay, I cannot generalize this, that okay, this role will not be there. As I told you, we at least, even if we do not have this role, let's say, but you need to understand this process so that in production, if problem comes, you should know which team to reach out to. Right, Manoj?
Right. Yeah.
Even if you do not do this exercise, let's say a lot of companies do not have performance engineering team, dedicated team. In what case, what would you do? Think about situation. You are responsible for production reliability. And if you don't go over this exercise, you will have to just guess it. And if you guess it, problem will happen.
Right. Yep. I'm good. I'm good now.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, Nivedita, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's like it's related to my previous question. So I can like explain the current scenario because we are working on on-prem. So regarding the VMs we are using, like we are generally using the Windows VMs. So we are using Jmeter. So when we do controller and agent thing, so we are using multiple VMs. Suppose a new VM got added, so we have to request one of the team to give us access so that from the controller we can access the agent. So I wanted to understand, like, are you going to explain the same concept how we are going to do in the cloud? Because if we have
I'm
to
not going to talk about Jmeter and distributed testing.
it's not about Jmeter. It's about like if I am configuring servers for my performance environment. So how my service is going to interact. So are you going to cover that part?
I'm not sure what exactly you're asking. I don't want to say yes or no because I'm not clear on the question. Could you elaborate what exactly interaction? Yeah, go ahead.
Suppose I created 2 servers and I want to send the request from one server to other server. So how to do
you
that?
Want to just send? You can do SSH, right? You can ping if you have an application running, directly hit the 2 servers in the cloud can communicate using private IP. It's like LAN, right? When you have 2 servers, they can communicate with each other using private IP. If they want to share some data, do SSH. Like how I did SSH from my laptop to another servers, even these 2 servers in the cloud can communicate, if you're asking that question.
Okay. Yeah.
You got the point, right? What I'm trying to say.
I
could connect. I could from my laptop. I could connect, right? So why can't the 2 servers can communicate with each other? They can communicate also, right? If they have some applications, like how your app server communicate. It's a normal thing. I think you were asking, right? How 2 servers communicate? Is that your question? Is if
like
I understood
that's what
correctly.
how are you going to show that or like that? I have that question.
What exactly you expecting from this server, from this server? Can you just tell me that I can, so I can understand what
That's why I
exactly.
said like when I'm running my Jmeter, so I make one server as the controller and I use multiple load generators. So in that case, my controller server is interacting with the agents.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I also want to know if I have to configure that, how to do that configuration, like how the interactions happen. So I'm not sure about the cloud.
It is the same way what you do in on-premise, same approach. Because when it doesn't matter now, right? When you are inside the cloud, let's say this is your controller machine, let's say.
But we have to give permission somewhere. We have to give some permission to
security group.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So what I'm going to tell you, see, I think high level. Cloud is just a data center which you don't own, right? On-premise you own. But when you are in one of the servers, let's say, the 2 servers, how they communicate, they have to follow the same process. In there also you talk about firewall, opening the firewall and all. Here also we talk about firewall. We have something called security group. Let's say if you want to communicate, if you want 2 servers to communicate, this we have something called security group.
Okay, yeah,
and
now I get.
We have to open the ports. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know, because we're not doing in on-premise. It's another team we have to request, so they provide. So I wanted to know if here I will able to know
You will
in
have
cloud how
every
we do it.
visibility, yes, because you have the access cloud. You have your own cloud account. You would have access of everything here. You can configure which port. If you have installing an application port 80, you have to open port 80, then only you can launch access your application. So once you are in cloud, That's how the two servers communicate with each other using the private IP. You don't need public IP also. Multiple servers in the cloud. When all the servers are in the cloud, they can communicate. How your web server, app server, the database server communicate with each other. The same process would go on, right? And every server has a security group, firewall. So we have to open the ports accordingly. Depending on which application, on which port they are running, we have to open the ports. Because every server has a security group. Security group, think like a firewall.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Rosa.
All this discussion, right? We will have it. So as I told you, we covered only 1%. But good thing everybody's thinking more on these lines. But today, as I told you, we have just covered 1%. It's everything is coming. Security group. I just didn't want you to throw everything at you today to confuse you, so that I'm holding on these topics not to explain more and more, so that others feel comfortable. Today, expectation is that you should be comfortable creating the server. If you are only one mandatory field, remember it. What is the first only one mandatory field for you to create the server, friends?
Keep it.
Keep it. Remember that. I want everybody to get comfortable creating the server and connecting to it. Okay. If you are doing this today, you are good. Okay. Just have this incremental approach of learning, right? And that's all. I'm going to share this command with all of you. I'm going to share this command with all of you in this chat. Please copy this command. Please copy this command which I've shared in the chat. That's it I need. I just need you to create the cloud account. Use EC2 to create the server and connect to the server. Once you are done, go over the Linux, which I'm going to share with you. And once you are done with that, terminate the server. Don't keep it running. Terminate the server. That's all I need from you today. We will explain a lot of things. Told you 1% we have covered today. We gonna cover in detail where this server is coming. We have a concept of VPC, virtual private cloud, public subnet, private subnet. So do you think every server will have public IP? Do you think so? I'll just give you this hint. Do you think every server that we will create in the cloud, do we need public IP for all of them?
No.
We should not. Public IP means you are creating trouble. You're inviting trouble from a security perspective. That is why we have a concept of private subnet. We create server in the private subnet so that you don't get public IP. Only the private IP is what you have. Only the load balancer gets the public access. That's it. Your web server, app server, database server, they don't have public IP. We will make sure they don't have public IP. So a lot of things coming your way, friends. I don't want to overwhelm you. That's why keep it simple. Remember, create the account, create EC2, login. That's it. 3 things you do it today. We'll meet on Wednesday and we'll cover more and practice Linux. That's it for today. We'll meet on Wednesday and discuss further, friends. Yes, Ankur, go ahead.
Sir, how can we get the recording of this session?
Yeah, we'll be sharing.
Okay. In the same group or the new one which you mentioned?
We will be sharing today. Today everybody is there, so we'll share in a public group. So soon we are going to create the separate WhatsApp group. There you will be keep on getting the recording going forward.
Okay.
Okay. Any other last questions? Good that you guys are thinking a lot. Good. And luckily I got this meeting extended. I could spend some time. We'll have some dedicated Q&A sessions. Usually I do that. Sharp 9 a.m. I had meeting, but it got postponed. Good. Okay. Any other last questions before we wind up? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll meet on Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Prashant.